We've covered several high-profile cases of sex abuse involving minors recently. Just this week, a former Sunday school teacher was sentenced for abusing and sexually assaulting young girls at a Johnston County church. We wanted to talk to a professional about the signs parents can look for and how to talk to your children about a topic like this. SAFEchild Executive Director Cristin DeRonja joins us now live. Cristin, how can parents identify signs of abuse in children?
Thank you, Deborah, for taking up this important topic. It's really tough to notice when something's troubling your child, and I would not expect them to always tell you. So I strongly encourage parents to pay attention to behavior patterns, whether it's a lack of interest in things they used to enjoy, change in school performance, social isolation from friends, different things that just seem out of character for your child.
You know, we talked a lot about how students lost a lot of time when it came to COVID and not being in the classroom. How did that also affect looking for some of these signs of child abuse?
Well, schools are our top reporter of concerns of child abuse and neglect. So without teachers and school personnel there engaged with students on a day-to-day basis, we really lost that visibility and the ability to notice when something might be wrong and to act out and reach for help.
Talking to your children about what physical contact is okay is certainly important. So explain how parents can go about that.
It's definitely important to have these conversations with children and to use age-appropriate language. We encourage that you establish rules for private parts, that your children know the proper names for their private parts, and they know that no one should ever touch or hurt or mess with their private parts. It's also important to encourage and empower our children to reach out for help and to talk about what's happening to them. If someone is doing something to them or asking them to do something that gives them a really uncomfortable feeling.
We often hear, and certainly in this case with the Sunday school person, we hear about kids who say that they were threatened not to say anything, or they wouldn't be able to tell anybody or else they would get into trouble. So who should victims go to report a crime and not feel like they're the ones going to get into trouble?
Yes, and again, children and adolescents should be empowered to reach out for help if something's happening to them that makes them have that really just yucky, funny tummy feeling. It should be reported to law enforcement and to child welfare, but it's also just important that children know who are the special people in their life that they know, they trust, that are good listeners, that are going to reach out for help and get them in touch with the protective powers that we have here in our community.
Talk about the typical legal steps after that crime is reported.
If a crime of an alleged abuse is reported to child welfare and to law enforcement, then those professionals are legally responsible to investigate those concerns and determine whether or not abuse and neglect has happened. A thorough investigation has to be performed, which typically includes interviewing that child and doing a medical evaluation.
And this can take years.
For a child to feel comfortable to talk about what's happening to them, it can take a very long time before they feel comfortable opening up. To your point, they often are told that no one's going to love them, no one's going to believe them. They may be threatened that they will get hurt if they tell someone about what's happening. And so it's very difficult to live in secrecy of some really horrible things.
Well, hopefully people are listening to your advice tonight. Excellent words. And Cristin DeRonja, thanks so much with SAFEchild. We know what great work you do in our community. And of course, people can reach out to you. Do you have a website also to share with people where they can go to read more?
It's safechildnc.org, and our phone number is 919-743-6140.
Important information. Cristin, thank you.
Thank you, Deborah.